Yeah.
Okay, so there are going to be numbers on the stream, I guess. Hege is going to try and see if the tracker works. If it doesn't, we'll just turn it off, but hopefully it does.
It actually does, so I think we're good to go.
Heck
If
yeah,
dude,
if
dude.
you look at the
that's
stream and all
amazing.
the streams look good, yeah.
Yeah, everything looks good.
So again, we have
This is
10 players, 2 commentators, and me doing the restreaming. So that's 13 people trying to get this done, and finally we're here.
goodbye, Hege.
Yeah. So there's a lot of Flash streams. You have to open it once, and it's not Flash, but it's something else. And that's actually a big toll on your CPU. So bear with Hege being a bit inaudible at times, but it's all good. I actually
Okay.
don't know who's starting for each team, Chef. Can you tell me real quick?
Yeah, of course.
Dude,
And
nice.
Juan is actually $9 ahead of Carlos now. So
I
just to
mean,
mention that, of
of
course, yeah.
course, yeah.
Okay, so the order of the teams, it's gonna be, I posted it now. It's all scrolled up. Philo is gonna be leading for Team Juan, and Votium is gonna be leading for Team Carlos.
Dude, nice. That's gonna be a sick matchup already.
Do you have their things up?
I do.
All right, it looks like we're ready to go, everyone. I guess Hege, are you ready? Do you want to do a countdown in the chat, Saji?
I can do the countdown, yeah. Once teams are ready, I guess I can do that, yes.
Yes. Can we get a confirmation from both teams? Can you guys get off this picture? Please.
I don't know what we're seeing, but I guess this is the Mirror's Edge menu right there, so thanks. Thanks, I guess. This is,
Yeah, this is
it's
the
not
right thing.
you
This
can't
is the...
ask about this, okay, please.
I'll go in and tell them to get ready. Okay, it looks like they're getting ready.
Okay, Bro and Phil are good, so we're gonna count them down.
Wait 1
Oh
second.
no, wait. They're not ready. Okay, I'm alone now. Hello guys. I'm your one-man entertainment.
I can join you, Saji, for this.
Zook said wait 3 times, so it's something urgent.
All right, everything looks ready. Also,
Ready
yeah,
spaghetti.
everyone thank Hege for restreaming this because he
Oh
has a lot
yes.
of work cut
He
out for
has
him.
by far the most amount of work out of the 3 of us, and probably everyone running as well.
How did 10 people play on 2 streams? We or 2 screens. We have 10 people streaming right now, and as one person finishes their part, we're gonna switch to the next person's screen.
Yeah, the classic Carlos halting the stream even more. Thanks. Shoutouts to Carlos.
Carlos is just doing what they gotta do. Oh,
Yeah.
Hege, you should restart the sources. We should all restart the sources for the first one so that we're at the same time. You know what I mean? Just pause, stop it completely, Sajiki, and then restart it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, and we should be good to go. It's 2 people per. It's 1 person for every 2 chapters, because otherwise we would need 20 people, and that's ridiculous.
Okay, I hope this stream is working. I can't see. Oh, I think it is working. Okay, so I'm
Yeah,
gonna
there we
count them
go.
down now. 4, 3, 2, 1, go. All right. I hope
Okay.
that is remotely synced with what you have, Hege, but we'll see. I'm so pumped for this. It's Team
Okay,
1
we're
against
off to
Team
the
Carlos.
races. And oh, Team Juan gets training skip right away. I'm not seeing anything from Team Carlos right
No, Team
now.
Carlos is having internet issues.
Oh no.
And I believe Philo has the trainer on because he just slid.
Oh,
Okay.
no. Okay, and we've got a first try training skip from both teams, I believe. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
okay. So we're gonna get into some really exciting strategies here. I'm gonna talk about some of the skips that they do and some of the crazy tech. So the first thing that you're gonna see a lot throughout this run is people are gonna kick off of a wall. They're gonna do a wall run and then kick right away. And what that's gonna do is that's gonna allow them to basically perform a second jump. That's called a kick glitch. One of the really cool things about the kick glitch is people can control their height. They can also control the direction they go. So there's a lot of nuance to doing that well. Um, do you want to talk about some of the other stuff that we're going to see along the way?
Yeah, not only that, you can also, and this is probably the craziest thing in this game, when you do a kick glitch, controlling all of the difficult things that Chef was already mentioning, you can actually keep your speed and get another wall run, which means you can get another kick glitch out of that wall run. and even do other stuff like wall boosts, wall climbs, and whatever. And that actually allows you, like you saw there on your Team 1 screen done by Philo, you can get chains of multiple kick glitches, which every single one of those will actually give you more speed. And
And
that's
we
really,
see,
really, really crazy.
and just to mention, it looks like Team Juan is still $9 ahead. So I just want to point out it's like pretty embarrassing that Carlos would try to splice their run.
Yeah, by lagging
I,
constantly. It's true.
I can't
I
believe
mean,
it.
I can't believe they're going that far to win,
That's messed
but
up,
okay.
dude. Like,
It's
shout outs
just
to
like,
Team Juan for integrity.
yeah, Team 1 is like where it's at, really. I mean, they're
The
playing fair
absolute
and
insane.
everything. But yeah,
So that's
that's
the
also why they're ahead, right?
right, exactly. And that's the end of Prologue for Team Juan on the left. So we're actually going to see the start of chapter 1, which is another really cool chapter. And
Yeah, it's named after
quickly,
Team
we're
1,
going
by
to
the way.
pretty quickly, we're going to see a big glitch here. So what you're going to see Philotrax do on the left side of your screen, he's going to go into this room with an elevator and he's going to slide into it. And essentially what he's going to do when he's sliding is mash his scroll wheel down, which makes him use the use button a bunch. And what that does is it automatically opens the elevator without having to wait for any animation.
Yeah.
So whenever you see them slide into things like that, it's because they're doing a use glitch.
Yeah, that's true. And then not only that, the use glitch has more use. It can be used to clip out of elevators. It can be used to do all kinds of fancy stuff. But yeah, there's another big glitch coming up also on your Team 1 screen because of course they're the best team. They're not going to miss that skip. And if so, then it's because they did it all on
Carlos is
purpose.
cheating.
Carlos is cheating again. But yeah, so Phil is going to do a quick kick glitch and then go out of bounds. He's out of bounds now. Now he needs to kick glitch over this wall. And of course, for an experienced player like him, that is no problem. So there's the first try chapter 1 skip, which is also named after Team 1. It's pretty cool. That's why they get it first try every time. Shout out to Team 1 being the best team.
Good job, Team Juan. Great job. Please donate to Team Carlos. Oh, and he dies. Oh my god.
What?
That's such a bad death.
I mean, what?
Now Team Carlos is ahead.
What do you mean? I mean,
Well,
that was
okay,
all
no,
planned.
here's
I
the thing.
mean,
That's a bad death, but you have to understand the only reason Philotrax would ever do something like that is because he's feeling bad for Team Carlos.
yeah, Carlos is such on a bad pace right now that Philo actually had to take that death in order to make the race a bit more entertaining because really, Carlosos were way too much behind.
And it's so honorable for Philo to take a death like that, even
Yes.
when Carlos is clearly
Yeah,
splicing.
we can't stress that enough. Team 1 integrity is really what makes them so great. This is the standout thing that I was talking about earlier too. Like even when one of their players makes a tiny mishap, they still all stand behind them, and it's
Oh, but
fantastic.
Sajiki, you know what I just noticed?
Yeah,
You know what
what?
I'm just thinking about? Carlos is like so good.
Dude,
Carlos
yeah,
is
you're
so
right.
good. In
Carlos is
fact,
actually my favorite team.
they're $11 ahead.
Yeah,
Is
I
how
mean
good they
that's
are.
what they should be. I mean,
Yeah.
seriously, Team 1 is just terrible. It's just a bunch of terrible people. Did you see that death Phil just took? That was horrible.
That's embarrassing,
Yeah,
honestly.
embarrassing. But yeah, there's
I
Hecky
think
Clip coming up. It's named after Heck again, who also named the Hackathon. So that's
it's
perfect.
true. Shout outs to Heck again.
Heck, oh, they both got it this time, but they're not going to do it for
Nice.
the crazy strats. So, oh, actually, Vo is going for it, right? Oh my God, Team Carlos with the crazy tricks. Okay, if he gets this, I'm gonna be going nuts.
So okay, so
Oh my
what
God.
Votium on the right side is going for, and it might be hard to tell because he's lagging a little bit. It's a skip called pedo skip, and what he has to do is get out of bounds and walk on this fairly narrow wall.
Oh
And
my
he's
God, I
gonna
think
have
he
to do
got
an
it. Oh my
incredibly
God,
precise
dude.
kick glitch.
Holy, I think he got it.
And he
Yeah.
gets it. It
Oh
doesn't
my
look, it might not be
God.
obvious, but that is one of the hardest tricks in the game.
I can't believe he even went for that. That's fucking
That's
crazy.
crazy.
That's
Well,
just
that
Team Carlos right there. Team
Carlos is
Carlos being the
amazing.
best in the world. Oh
That
my
is
God.
gonna save like
10 million
it's a
seconds. The race is over,
10.
honestly.
The race is over. Yeah.
Team 1 can just give
Juan.
up.
Team Juan should be team retirement. You know.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
That's
And as you
what
can
they
see now on
say.
the right side, Team Carlos is now ahead by about 5 seconds over Team 1, which
But we will be switching both players very, very shortly
yeah.
after they make this tough kick glitch across the gap. So if they both get this, this is pretty good.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
So
And actually, Vo got it. So Team Carlos, and what is Team 1 doing? Once again, failing this. Oh my God, Philo. Oh well, I mean that's what you deserve. And we're switching over both sides. So Team 1 is switching over to whom?
Team Juan, we now have Heki on the left, and we have Glost on the right. So obviously Carlos is going to be more impressive. We're
Yeah,
just going to
that's
see
just
more,
natural.
better gameplay from them. Also, forgive people struggling to swap sometimes. realize that we're switching between 5 different people, it can be tough.
But yeah, we're off to a start. 2A is already one of the coolest checkpoints in the game, but they're both, I think, doing gentleman's agreement to not do the big skip that's right here. Both of them are totally capable of doing it. Heki and Glows are both fantastic players. Of course, Heki is a terrible human being. That's why he's in Team 1. But Glows is a wonderful, wonderful man and really one of my best friends in real life and online as well. Since
The
he's in
best guy
Carlos,
all around.
he's the best guy that I've ever met in my life. That's true.
Please just, like, sing praises to Carlos right now.
Yeah,
This
and
is
then
all we
donate to
need.
Team 1, thanks. It really helps me out.
So, this area actually, Sajiki mentioned it a bit, but this area actually has a skip that saves about 40 seconds, but it's very, very difficult to do. That's one of the reasons you're not seeing either runner go for
Yeah,
it.
not only that, it also wastes a ton of time when you fail it.
Right. So instead, we're seeing this alternative trick, and Juan failing a simple pipe climb up because
Yeah, I mean,
that's what
that's what
Juan
they do.
does.
But yeah, take a
So
look on your
Glows,
right. Yeah, Glows is currently going for a really cool out of bounds skip, so he's going to drop down here. And as it turns out, in Mirror's Edge, all the checkpoints are always there. So once you hit the checkpoints, regardless of where they are, you can quit out of the game and reload, and that makes them go into kennels right there. So that was really nicely done by Carlos, of course.
so another skip that saves about 40 seconds, but the difference with this one is it's way, way easier.
Yeah.
It's very hard to mess up actually. So Glost is probably going to go for a difficult climb up to this button, but it's not too hard for an experienced player like him,
Yeah,
and
especially
a
from Team
Carlos, of
Carlos
course.
member. Yeah, Carlos
Yeah,
members
of
are just
course.
pretty flawless at this trick. That's really what makes them so special. I mean, okay, he missed
So,
an easy quick wall there, but it was actually on purpose because
oh, that's
he.
something we actually haven't mentioned. Sometimes you'll see these guys rub their faces against the walls. That's
Oh yeah,
called wall rubbing. No, that's called wall
wall
boosting.
rolling.
And and when you wall boost, essentially what it does is jumping on a wall gains you speed, and jumping off a wall
Chef,
gains you
I have
speed.
an announcement to make. I mean, screw wall boosting. You know what? I love Team 1.
Oh, Team One is so
Team
great.
1 is the
And
best.
I was actually just going to mention that one of the benefits about Team One being like $50 in the lead. Oh my God. I don't know who donated that, but thank you. One
Thanks,
of,
guys.
yeah, please.
Oh, Tom Rish. Yeah, we're gonna read it after the run, but thanks, Tom. Tom being a restreamer of last year's hackathon, doing crazy shifts and doing a lot of work for the marathon last year. So shout outs
Shout
to
outs to
Tom.
him, but mostly shout outs to Team One.
Yeah, Team 1 is really much better at organizing hackathon than Tom. I mean, if they were to organize hackathon, they would do it in about a tenth of the time that we took, because they're just so great at everything in life.
Yeah, but one of the things I want to mention is when you see these players rub their faces against walls, specifically Juan's, because they're better at that than Carlos. What happens is jumping into a
Oh,
wall
Carlos,
run.
what was that? Oh my God,
Oh
did you
my
see that?
God.
Just missing a wall
Yeah,
run like that. Oh yeah, I
I
mean,
can't believe it.
oh well. Also, Heki just
No.
did this super sick angled wall climb there. You probably missed it already, but that was amazing. I mean, of course, he's in Team 1.
But when you jump into a wall run and you jump out of a wall run, both of those things gain you speed. So people will jump out into a wall run and immediately jump out, and it gains you more speed than if you were just to run straight forward.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
that's one
And
of the
both of
biggest reasons people rubbing their faces against the wall.
oh, Heki, showcasing that you're not supposed to jump there. Really
Oh,
smart thinking by no.
oh my God.
My heart as a one supporter
Okay,
just
this is a difficult climb, but they are making it look way more difficult than it
then
actually is.
what is Heki doing? I mean, it's just this is a classic one right there. He knows the crowd is just on the brink of falling asleep because this is too easy and too boring, and he just wants to make it more entertaining for you. So shoutouts to Team 1 for quick thinking there, showcasing really easy things in this game can also be really tough. Thanks.
One love, you know.
Yeah.
Please donate to Carlos, please.
Yeah, it's only $10 million you have to donate in order to reverse. But yeah, take a look on your right side as Glows gets turned around because he looked into the wall too much. Why is he skipping to do that? I don't. What is that faster in real time? Am I stupid?
I don't know.
Okay, let's watch Heki. So there's an elevator clip you can do here. Yeah, so there we go. Heki is now clipped out of the elevator. I don't know why Gloss didn't do that, probably because he's a Carlos and he didn't really think. But Heki is now currently out of bounds, and now that makes him able to go through this door because it's not loaded yet, and that actually makes him able to walk faster than he would normally be able to. And this is called the chase. Actually, Glows just died, so shoutouts to Team Carlos for being unable to live in this game.
I do want to mention that kick glitch can be a little difficult to
Yeah,
get.
but
There
it's
are a lot
actually
of
pretty easy
things.
because one just nailed it.
Well, when you're a Juan, you can definitely get it, but, there are a lot of things in this game that are really, really easy to just mess up that seem like minor mistakes, but sometimes end up costing you 10 to 15 seconds. So the
Yeah,
difference between a really good player like a Juan and a really
a
bad player
terrible
like a
player.
Carlos is that, they don't make those minor mistakes that can cost that ridiculous amount of time.
Yeah. So once again, I want to mention that real quick. So we're doing a relay race right now. So it's 2 teams of 5 players running after each other, and there's a live bit where for commentary bias, so we have to be biased and for the team that's currently in the lead, and that's one. Heki being in a bit of a Monka-esque situation there, but since he's in team one, he's going to easily take care of that. Of
The
course, you
clutch
wanted to
recovery.
make Team Carlos gain some time back. So this is actually a super tense race because they're pretty much 1 second apart, Jeff.
Oh my god, they're neck and neck. This is crazy. And normally you'd see players quit out here, but they're not going to because it's actually faster in real time to just make the run. Um,
Just one
and
ticklish
we're
between them at
getting
the end of chapter 2, and this is a pretty difficult one, but Team 1 easily gets it with the continuation. Actually, did you see Ghosted and Coil because he died in the so
yeah,
in the
yeah.
mock relay he died by coiling there, but now he didn't because he's afraid and he's a
He
Carlos.
learned
So
better.
yeah,
Okay, and now
yes,
we're on to chapter 3 for both players. So this is one of the hardest chapters in the game. One of the things I mentioned earlier is that it's easy to make a mistake that can cost you 15 or 10 seconds. But on this level, there are lots of mistakes that can cost upward to 30 seconds.
actually let's see
It's
if they go for going around the fence. Actually, Heki opts out for that because he's a smart one player and Ghost on your right side. Is he going to nail that? He's actually going to get it. So that was
wow.
luck, pure luck by Team
Carlos
Carlos there, saving 3
Carlos
seconds.
is lucky, man.
Boring.
Luckily it doesn't
Actually,
matter
Heki is
that
showing off
much.
some more of this beautiful 3A by failing the climb 3 times. So that's really nice. Thanks, Heki.
Thanks a lot, Heki.
Okay, are they going for 3A, 3C? They're not. Okay, so
So
please.
there's a really big skip here. When I mentioned in the past chapter that there's a skip that saves about 40 seconds, there's another a skip here that saves about 35. So both the players are choosing not to go for that skip because it can be really difficult.
Yeah,
And if you fail it, you'll lose about 50 seconds, maybe a little bit less. But it's just all in all, pretty bad day.
yeah. They're both shooting the door here. It's actually a tiny bit faster to shoot the door with a gun. Heki misses that, but he knows he has 2 shots in his magazine, so it's completely fine for him.
And
Let's see
making the
if.
climb perfectly.
Yeah, there's no letter of shame for once, if you know what I mean.
Glossed a little bit behind, but not too bad. They've kept
Actually,
this race pretty neck and neck considering how bad Carlos is.
yeah. But yeah, so we're kidding about Juan and Carlos, but this game is actually so unbelievably difficult to play at the level that these two are currently being displayed. Of course, Juan being much better than Carlos, but still, actually Carlos is clawing back, by the way. So there's only $30 between Juan and Carlos. So
Yeah,
um,
please donate $30 to Carlos.
yeah, don't.
Okay, and
So
grabbing the pipe so that you can avoid the death. That's the fastest way to get down there, and it looks difficult, but it's actually very, very easy. And we're
yeah,
now on to the hardest part of this chapter, probably 3C.
yeah.
And
3C notorious for run enders because the reason is you skip pretty much every single checkpoint you have. So once you fail a trick, so that Heki's doing right now, so there's a pretty difficult chain, but that's easy for him, of course. No!
oh
No, I
no,
jinxed him.
oh
Okay, so
no.
as you can see there, really nice thinking by one. I was currently explaining that it would send you all the way back to the beginning, and Heki just wanted to show that real quick. Ghost on your right side now doing that trick, and of course he's a Carlos. He gets really lucky, gets it first try there, but that's just casual. Yeah, I mean for Heki it's also pretty easy. He's gonna nail it here. Just watch him do it again. Yeah, that's extremely easy. Yeah, there you go. Team one.
Yeah, so luckily, we're very lucky to have Juan because they'll sacrifice the quality of their run to help show off the game better. And it's very, very nice. Um, obviously, Team Juan playing better, just being nicer people, smelling better than the other team.
Yeah,
But
I mean there's a lot of advantages of one over
it's not
Carlos.
all about winning, right?
Yeah, true. Yeah.
So we are nearing the end of chapter 3. We're getting to the final checkpoint, which is 3D. Um, in this checkpoint, they have to jump across this giant crane, and there's actually an incredibly difficult skip. It's like frame and angle perfect almost.
Yeah, it's super
Um,
frame, double perfect. Actually, hyper
yeah,
frame perfect. You have to hit
double, triple.
1/200th of a second input there. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So neither of them are going to go for that, but it does also save about 35 seconds. So you can maybe start to see after me mentioning all these big skips, uh, the game has a lot of time that can be shaved off of it. It's just hard to do it and not, die to one of the other big skips that lose you 40 seconds. So
Yeah.
they're both going to do this climb pretty solidly. It's hard to mess up at this point. You could do something stupid and fall off the crane, but that's a pretty silly reason to die, though you
Yeah, that would
will
just
lose a lot of time.
that would sounds like a thing that Carlos would do though.
It's a total Carlos move. And once both players are through this door, we're actually going to move on to the
Yeah,
next
and
players
that
in the
means
relay.
after 3 chapters, and I can't stress enough how hard this game is and how crazy this is, they're actually 4 seconds apart, and we're gonna switch over from Glows to
To Lambo, and from
Lambo.
Heki to Fatman. So we've got Lambo on Team Carlos and Fatman on Team Juan.
Yeah, and what do you have to say about these gentlemen?
These gentlemen, well, I mean, the Juan player, great guy.
Yeah,
Carlos player, you know,
yeah, it's
the Carlos.
we just have to make them play sometimes. You have to watch them. There's not much you can do. I mean, Lambo might have a really low PB and might be extremely good at this game, but I mean, he's a Carlos, so that's actually disgusting.
Excuse me, but there's been a change.
Oh, Carlos
What do
is
you
actually
mean?
winning by $1. And so, as I said, Carlos's smell very nice. They smell like lavenders.
Yeah.
And in fact, they're going to be storming ahead of Team Juan.
That's funny because there's a tornado warning at Fat Man's house, and he's a 1 player,
That's
so
true.
that was quick thinking by you. Thank you, Chef.
God
But
is
yeah.
actually telling Juan not to live or to not win today, So so we're gonna see a big trick here. This is, well, it's not
Wait,
really a
did
big
Fat
trick,
Man
but
die?
oh, he might have.
I think he died. He died to the train or something, so now he has to
He
do
died
all
again.
again.
Oh
I mean,
my
it's just a
god.
classic 1 move. That's the problem with Team 1.
And so this is one thing that can happen in chapter 4. If you try to go too fast, you'll actually die to the train. And if you go fast enough, you can beat the train, but sometimes it's random and you can lose to the train. Also, sometimes you're not fast enough and you can lose to the
Also,
train.
he
So
died
Fat
again,
Man messed up
so
quite a bit.
thanks.
Oh nay. Well, I mean, oh yay.
Oh yes,
Team Juan
perfect.
falling
Thanks,
behind.
thanks, Team Carlos, for playing perfectly in Chapter 4.
So
Chapter 4 also being the worst chapter, of course. Everybody knows
but
that.
Team Juan is now about a chapter behind because after this train ride from Lambo, they're going to be done with chapter 4 and moving on to chapter 5, which is one of the longest chapters, to be fair. So there can be a lot of time made up here, but I mean, it's Team Juan. You can't expect them to make up that much, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a 1 thing, once and for all, a one at a lifetime, in a lifetime.
Once in a lifetime. Oh, but I do have to say that I actually think Team Juan is great. $2 greater than Carlos, in fact.
Yeah,
So they're actually going to make this comeback, and you can see the train leaving on Juan's screen right now. And what that's going to mean is he should be just on pace to beat that train. If he's a little bit too slow, he's going to have to jump on the bar to the left. But ideally, he'll be able to do it, and it looks like he's going to make it. Oh,
yeah.
and he
I'm just,
does.
you
Very,
know
very
what,
good
Chef?
play.
I'm just really curious to find out where Carlos exactly is gonna fuck up.
Oh, everywhere, basically.
Yeah,
That's what I think.
yeah, me too. That's a good. Yeah, I didn't consider this. But yeah, look to your right now. Lambo is going for 5A skip. He's gonna miss it because he's a Carlos, but it's a
Oh,
really
and
easy
he
trick.
gets it, actually.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
Okay, because he cheated.
I mean, this
He's
is a really
probably
easy trick.
spicing. I mean, I'll admit Lambo's good at the game, but he is a Carlos, so.
So what he did there, just to explain it a little bit, you can actually, if you look in the wall at the wall in a certain angle, you can control not only the angle you kick out of and so on, but you can also control the amount of height you can kill with the wall run. And what they did there, or what Lambo did there, pretty well, I have to admit, for Carlos, is to control the height perfectly so that he's able to jump on a really tall invisible wall. Otherwise, if he just did that slightly wrong, he would have died to the fall damage. So that's
Yeah.
pretty good.
And he's also
Uh,
going to see, we're going to see another elevator clip here. And it's going to allow him to get into this area before the level is actually loaded, which will let him pop up onto this vent and save a lot of time. Not very impressive for a Carlos, but, it's
Yeah,
fine.
let's find out if he's a pole or
Oh, and he's a dirty pole user.
oh, this is disgusting. I mean, antenna is the only way to go. I mean,
Oh, but I actually just found out that Carlos is, in fact, $2 ahead of Juan. So, in fact, the pull is the optimal choice. Make sure if you're going to do a kick glitch there, you do it off of the
yeah,
pull.
you do it over the pole. And also Fat Man going for the 5A skip, and he also seems to be getting it first try, but as we already saw with Carlos, it's actually completely free, and even once can do it, so that's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Also, guys, thanks for donating. Keep doing that. It's fantastic.
Yeah, you guys are really awesome. And we are actually getting midway through chapter 5 here. Lambo's making really good time. He's a fantastic player, like
Yeah.
seriously. Um,
I mean,
one
it's
of the
pretty
best
much
Chapter
flawless
5 players in the world.
execution of 4 already, but his 5 so far is completely flawless as well, and 5 is a lot harder than 4.
Right. And we're actually going to see a pretty cool skip coming up, but we'll mention that when it's a little bit closer. A lot of this stuff here is just like fairly intricate movement, no crazy kick glitches, except for this right after these zip lines
Yeah,
here
there's
that
a big
Lambo's going
chain
off
coming
of.
up.
He's going to try to do a big chain that can be really difficult to get. So if he
Yeah,
gets
he's
it,
actually
oh, he
going for it.
misses it.
Oh, too bad. So there's a good example of you kicked, you kicked 0.1 second too late and you can't do the trick anymore. And that's really a reoccurring theme in Mirror's Edge. If you don't time your inputs precisely and absolutely perfectly, then stuff doesn't just click together. Ha, get it? But yeah, the thing with Lambo is he's just fantastic as a human being and as everything. He's my best friend. I love
He's
him.
my best friend too. I love him. I wish
Yeah.
we could hug him right now. So we're gonna see Fat Man catching up a little bit. Not incredibly well, but he
Because
is
he's
making
in
better
Japan.
time. He's gonna do a very cool elevator climb here. Um, it's hard to explain the nuance of that trick, but it's actually pretty interesting. So I'm excited for Fat Man because we're gonna get to see another attempt at the crazy chain, and hopefully he gets it here.
Dude, these wobblies by
So
Lambo are so delicious.
And so the other thing I want to mention is Lambo is about to go into this area with a trick called Beamer. And what Beamer is
Yeah, if you
essentially
thought Cranes was super frame perfect, what is Beamer even?
mega, ultra,
It's
double
ultra frame
frame
perfect.
perfect.
Yeah. But yeah,
So he's
keep an
going to
eye on the
climb up a
left
wall that has a lip and on the right
and
side, yeah.
right side, sorry.
There's a wall that has a lip, and if he turns around on the exact frame that the lip extends out, and there he goes, he gets launched out and can climb up. Um, can you donate to have us praise you? Yeah, I love you, Chop. You don't even have to donate. Okay,
I'm actually
so
biased
that
against jobs.
no,
Somebody donated, I'm sorry.
but Beamer is actually quite a difficult skip.
Yeah, it is. But for Carlos, it's completely free. That's the thing. I mean, he has millions of hours of practice for just that one trick, pressing a single button while looking at the wall, and he just did that so well. And I'm just so proud of him, really. Oh, he's trying to go for the cool roll here, which
Oh,
skips
nice.
a roll animation later, but he didn't get it. So there you
No,
have
no,
to take
no.
the hard fall.
He played perfectly there. Shut your mouth.
Sorry, I'm confused sometimes. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, Juan, on the other hand, is making terrible decisions, standing in an elevator for hours like an idiot.
Yeah,
They could
that could
just
have
be,
been way faster.
yeah, they could have done big elevator skip, a trick that doesn't exist yet, but they could have invented
But
it.
they could have found it on the fly.
And
Way too quick.
Carlos is about to switch levels, so we're
Yeah.
about to switch players
But
on
keep an eye on
Carlos's
the
side.
left side. You're gonna see a guy stare at a wall for 10 minutes because they failed Beamer over and over. It's hyper frame perfect, and really a one can't do it. I mean, there he got it by luck. I mean, even as you say in German, even a blind chicken finds
Yeah, an egg.
something to eat at times. That's a nice German saying. I couldn't translate it well enough there, but shout out to me
Okay,
being
so we've
German.
got Flatza on the right side doing a big skip coming up. What he has to do is he has to jump over this. He's going to grab the pole for safety. He's going to struggle to grab the pole, but that's okay. Uh, it's just classic Carlos. He's messing
Okay,
around.
thanks for Carlos.
Um,
To Carlos, shout out to quick thinking, grabbing the checkpoint there. Thanks.
so he's going to do this jump over an invisible
Glad he's
wall.
dead.
And right there, he messed up and did a slide, but that's okay. What he
Yeah,
needs is he needs a roll. So he's going to roll off of that wall. It's going to give him another invisible platform that allows him to survive. And he's going to be in an out of bounds zone. And in this out of bounds zone, actually every single like area in the game, the loading triggers for them exist. So if he can just get to the loading trigger, everything will be fine. All he has to do is get over this wall and make a kind of tight jump, but it shouldn't be too difficult for someone like a Carlos, right?
Yeah, he's just gonna show it off for you a bit more to show how difficult this game can be at times. That's just really nice thinking by Flatza there, aka Jetsa. And also we swapped on the other side, so now Juan and Carlos are perfectly synced again. So that's perfect.
Yep.
Who did we swap to?
Jetson making it Saskia. So Jetson making it really exciting to watch by allowing the other team to catch up. Like shout outs to Carlos for that. Very honorable team spirit.
Yeah, Carlos are really honorable. That's really
I do
cool.
want to mention, so Saski's probably quite a bit better at the game than Jetsa, but Jetsa's had a lot more practice recently.
That's true.
So we
Yeah.
might see both of these players fail a couple of times. This trick can be hard, especially when you're a bit out of practice. And
And actually,
I have to
Flotza,
say,
being a Carlos, he did the backup there. Really nicely done.
the safety, yeah.
Quick
So
thinking.
it's very easy to mess this trick up because especially when you're nervous because you're in front of a lot of people. So, don't be too mean to them. And Flotza just going for the basic jump and he gets it just like a
Nice.
Carlos does. And so now we have to see if Sasuke gets it. And if he does, they're going to be neck and neck again. And he
They're
does.
actually
So
neck and neck. This is
we
so
have a
crazy.
neck and neck race
Oh my god!
again.
Thanks, Carlos,
Jesus.
for being fair and waiting a bit. That's really beautiful. Thanks.
That was really nice of
Shoutouts to
Carlos.
Flotza, aka Jetsa, aka Flot Jets
Flot,
man,
Flot,
Flot man,
Carlos, my best friend.
Carlos, and they're actually neck and neck in the same room. I can't believe this. What
It
was
almost looks like, and they both
they
die
both
on this jump, which I have to point out is not very difficult. This is one of the easier things in the game, even though it looks kind of weird. Jets is struggling with it because he's
Oh, that
doing a
was a
bad
cool strat.
turnaround timing.
That was what
Oh,
do
but
you
he
mean? It
made
was
it!
perfect.
Wow!
It was
Wow,
perfect.
that Carlos
Strat on the fly.
genius.
Yeah, Carlos with the amazing strat on the fly. Thank you, Jetsa, for showcasing this. And now we can see really the tiny details of movement, which can make a big difference in a quarter like this. The wall boost of Sasuke, of course, with his cheating mouse, would take him all the way ahead of Jetsa, who's an honorable Carlos and doesn't pay to win.
Yeah, Sasuke managing to get in the lead, but not really by his own, skill, but rather by cheating the system.
By the way, I want to mention real quick, Carlos is ahead by only $2. So if somebody would say donate $3 to what team won, we would have to support them again. So I mean, I'm just throwing that out without any.
What happens if they tie? We
I
haven't thought about
mean,
that. Don't donate $2
don't
to one.
don't. The universe will collapse. Quantum physics will break.
Okay.
Don't do it. We're gonna get sucked up by a black hole if you do that. Don't donate $2 right now.
And Carlos making a genius decision, pressing the button instead of doing slide glitch.
Yeah.
Just being very polite. Because sometimes you slide into those elevators,
Oh.
that's kind of a rude thing to do, right?
And Sasuke actually missing the side jump boost into the wall there, so that's a classic one move. They can't even control a simple side jump boost.
But it can be
Disgusting.
tough sometimes, right?
No, it's not. The easiest trick
Okay,
in the
never
game. You
mind.
know it. You do it
Yeah.
10 million times per run, and really a 1 should be able to do that, but they don't. Because they suck.
And is Flotza going to go for the tough boost? No, okay, he's not going to go for that springboard.
Yeah,
So they're going to be
thanks.
going into this subway at about the exact same time. They're going to be dropping out of the subway car, which looks pretty sweet. And the first time I did it in the game, I was like, whoa, dude. Mirror's Edge of the future.
Yeah.
And then they made a second one, which I didn't
And
like
then
very much.
nowadays we're in our year 2019. Hackathon's 3rd edition is right here with you, and oh my god, Sasuke! Oh my god, he's cheating! A dirty one!
He's cheating,
Oh
dude!
my
Juan's
god!
cheating blatantly in the
Disgusting!
open. Oh my god. Oh, but actually, Juan just showing off cool mechanics of the game, being about $8 ahead.
That was a shitty strat by Sasuke, and he gets punished for it rightfully because that was terrible.
Wait, no, Juan is ahead now, Sajiki.
It was a fantastic strat. Thank you for showing
really
off.
Smart and going for the roll just to let Carlos
Another
stay
roll.
ahead.
Oh, beautiful! Terrible luck by Jetsa getting the double roll. I mean, I must say, that's
okay. So they
Carlos,
both. This is boat, and they both are skipping the entirety of the level. So we're going to be at the last checkpoint in just a second when both players jump over this gate. And now what's going to happen after that is they're going to fight the final boss of this area, and we're going to move on to the next level, and we're going to split to the next players.
They actually completely synced. I can't believe this. This is absolutely insane.
Neck and neck.
And all they need to do now is fight their sister. It's Anime Grill number 89, and she's gonna fight us in her sick jumpsuit or whatever that's called.
This isn't our sister.
Yeah, I know, but it's her sister-in-law.
Yeah, I forgot about the lore.
Actually, you have to swap at the same time, Hege. Good luck. But yeah, we're swapping over on each side.
Yeah, thanks. Hold on.
Exact same time. Okay, so we've got Spring Stingray on the left side for Team Juan, who is the best player in the entire planet.
Yeah, he's amazing.
He's my favorite. He's my dad too. And on the right side, we've got Zuketra, who's like he's all right, I guess, but he's a Carlos, so he kind of sucks.
Yeah, disgusting.
So
dude.
we see Spring missing this jump, but it's no big deal. He's got the backup because he's a Juan and he knows what's up. And we're going to see a pretty difficult kick glitch coming up here. So this could actually be a place where both teams lose a lot of time. But we will
actually
see.
both get the 8A. Oh my god! So chapter 8 has an insane amount of hard stuff. In every checkpoint, there's a super precise movement, and I'm thrilled to find out who's gonna win because Naturally, from the PBs, you would think Zook
Neck and neck.
is much faster than Spring, but he's a Carlos, and anything can happen with Carlos, as everyone knows it. And
I was
AP,
worried that we were going to have to do a good job on commentary here, but the players have just been making it amazing.
yeah,
Absolutely
except
neck
for the
and neck the
Carloses.
entire time. Yeah, except fuck Carlos.
The Carlos are the problem with this race all the way. And actually, they're going
I
for
mean,
different strats here, and Spring is a tiny bit faster up there, but it just completely sting. I don't even know what to commentate. This is just amazing. Just enjoy this beautiful moment. Spring doing a tiny mistake there, or doing the wall boost, tiny bit wrong. And is he going to go? They're both going to do for the crazy skip into the loading zone. So who's going to get this?
wow.
So if you miss this, you go all the way back, and actually Zook gets it. Let's hope that Spring also gets it. Otherwise, he's going to fall behind by a lot.
Oh,
And
and that might
they
not be
both get
it.
it. I can't
But
believe
it is that. Oh my god. And they're literally neck and neck.
And now
It couldn't be any
8C
closer.
Atrium is
We're in
probably
one of the
the
coolest levels.
areas. Totally on your right side, Zook doing the super sick climb that actually Spring is probably going to skip because he's smart and he's a 1 and he knows how difficult it can be. But Zook is already up there, probably now 8 seconds ahead. This is actually crazy.
And this is something I have to say. Zook is going to have more experience doing a climb like this, and he's probably going to go for harder strats. But if Carlos messes up, which he will, Juan's going to get a chance to come back into the
And actually,
into the
he messed
forefront.
up there. You failed a really, really easy climb there in order to do Ventrium. Actually, since what Chef was actually he dies. Yes,
I told you, Carlos there.
And actually, Spring with this 10,000 IQ decision making, grabbing the checkpoint there. So he also is on Ventrium now, ahead of Zook, maybe 5 seconds. That climb is actually super difficult, but he gets it. There's a second climb he needs to do here. Get an infinite walk climb, and actually he also fails it. Oh no! And Juan is back. Zook is ahead again, doing the infinite walk climb. He's up there, and now he's up out of bounds. And now the only thing he needs to do is jump into a loading zone, and there's no hard thing. But Carlos can fuck up anything. Let's see. Oh no, Zook actually gets it, but Spring is up there with him doing the infinite walk climb. He's now also out of bounds.
Oh my god.
Oh my
And if they
God.
both get this properly, then they'll again basically be neck and neck, almost making the exact same mistakes, except Carlos is making them a little bit worse.
But right now,
because they're Carlos.
Team Juan is actually in the lead.
Yeah, we know. Carlos
Okay.
is
Yeah.
terrible.
I mean,
And actually, Spring is doing safety strats, so he's going to lose a bit of time onto the colors, but he's guaranteed to hit that shot. You can see Zook now shooting through the wall. This is a big glitch. He's abusing everything he can as a filthy Carlos as he is in order to gain more speed. But Spring
struggling
is just
to even
waiting.
hit the shot, honestly.
Yeah, it's just AVP, drop Dragon Lore all over again, and pay to win for Team Carlos. Of course, everybody knows Dragon Lore deals more damage than normal AVPs.
Yeah, it's true. Going into the final level at almost the exact same time, this is going to be incredibly close. It might just be up to who can get the big skip at the end first.
Yeah, you're
And
absolutely correct about this.
It's not hard to mess that thing up. So I think that's really going to be the deciding factor.
The essential rule of Mirror's Edge is never get hype before server room, right? You see Zook on the right side actually failing the 9A strat. That's a really difficult wall climb. He needs to do a backup here, so let's see if he can nail that. And actually, he does, even though he's a Carlos, but that makes Spring catch up if he nails this. He doesn't! Too bad.
But can he get the backup? Okay, he's going to go back and try to do this again. And if he can get it this time, okay, he's having a little bit of trouble. But if Spring can do this, he's not too far behind.
Oh my god.
And he does. And that's really, really good. That looks really simple, but that can be one of the hardest strats in the game. Okay, so what we're going to see here in a few minutes is both players are going to do this big elevator skip. What you have to do is you've seen players clip into elevators a couple of times, but this one requires a bit different kind of stuff to do, and it's quite a bit more difficult. So essentially, there's a chance that either player could mess this up, and if one of them does, that'll probably decide the game for the other.
Yeah, totally. And this trick is actually much more difficult than it looks. There's an easier version of it right now, so let's see if a filthy Carlos can do it. On the fly here, Zook on your right side is now going for it.
And this is really going to determine whether or not it happens. If Zook gets this first try, it looks like Carlos is going to have it in the bag.
He gets the clip first try, so he's out of bounds now. He needs to walk off this elevator in a particular way to hit a loading zone, and then pause the game at the right time. But this is actually pretty difficult for a Carlos who has 0 IQ and a really tiny brain. So let's see if this is actually going to happen. And this looks pretty good, and Zook actually gets it. I can't believe it.
He gets it.
God damn it, Carlos. And no,
I don't want to call it over.
It.
Oh, but Spring misses the clip, and it would be hard for Carlos to throw this run away now.
I mean, he can still fail sniper skip and server room skip, but there's only 2 skips, and Zook is on his way. He's jumping on an invisible wall. This is actually a skip that lets you skip going around there, maybe saving 8 seconds or so. So Carlos is on a comfortable lead now. I can't believe.
And Spring gets the clip. So he can come back. He has a chance. He has to get this correctly. And Juan can do it if I've ever seen them.
Yeah,
But,
ones are just determined to win, like, from the beginning. And
oh,
actually
actually,
just
never
looks
mind.
good.
Carlos is the best.
Oh, they did it.
I
Carlos
love
is the best.
Carlos.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Carlos is the best. I mean, Spring just
Carlos
fucked
is
up
the best.
again.
Yeah,
And
whatever.
This is disgusting, yeah.
I mean, whatever, Spring. We knew he was going to lose from the start.
Yeah, there was, nice
And
attempt and
Carlos
all, but you
heading
suck.
into server room.
I mean, you
And
can
they're
tell.
just
Look
gonna-
at him climbing, but it's just pathetic. I mean, don't
It's
even
just
try.
sad. Give up. I do
Yeah,
have to
see,
say,
I told you were just gonna fall down. Why are you trying this, Spring?
leaving the bias behind for a second, I do want to say both of these teams are going to finish with about a 38 time,
Which
and
is
in real
absolutely
time, so if we were talking in game time, that's probably a 35, and a 35 is very, very good.
Yeah, that's like our PBs, chefs in mind.
Yeah, it really is actually. So both teams have played really incredibly well.
And server room
We've seen
skip
some
first try by
from-
Carlos. Good job.
Wow, incredible. And
Yeah, that's pretty
that'll
much
be
it.
it.
Time is gonna come up. Carlos gonna win. Nice 360 over the plant there. Getting some swag in there as a Carlos should. Okay, missing the swag there as a Carlos sometimes does, but it's all right. So there's only one cutscene between him and the end of the game. What would you like most about Carlos Schaff at this point?
I think they're
They're just the
most
best.
handsome.
And see, it even has the third person bind ready, showcasing what Mirror's Edge can do with.
Yeah, so watch the right screen. You'll really enjoy this if you haven't seen it before. This is what Mirror's Edge looks like in third person. So this is
Look at her legs. Her
this
legs.
is Carlos.
Carlos
what
winning
actually-
in dominant fashion, of course.
Carlos is showing off what Team Juan members look like in real life.
The quick 180 turn, stretching the legs to save your sister.
The stretch is so good. My favorite part about that is her legs turn in one direction and her torso turns in the other. Amazing. And Juan now finally at server room clip.
I mean, yeah, he failed it already twice, so I guess he's gonna take the AVP and shoot the servers.
Nope,
As a
he's
filthy
not.
Spring, he's not. Oh yeah, okay, he's determined. I mean, that's one thing. Perseverance is certainly something that you can't take away from once, even in defeat.
They still try their best.
They still try. I mean, can you please press H for 1 second, Spring?
Can you just grab that gun, Spring?
Can you please grab...
that death animation is super rare, actually. The broken leg.
Yeah.
I never saw it in my casual playthrough.
Okay.
Well, anyways, we're gonna let Spring finish this up. But shout outs to Carlos for the amazing plays all around.
Yeah, Carlos was just clever planning right ahead, knowing that Spring is gonna screw up server room 8 times in a row, and they knew there was a comfortable win from the get-go. So also getting the aim punch and now falling down. I mean, come on, Team 1, did you even practice for this? I'm assuming no. You have the M249 at this point.
Yeah, you've got such a big gun. How could you even lose?
Yeah, how can you miss?
One other thing I want to say is shout outs to all you guys for donating so much. I'm glad people enjoyed the commentary bias. We've done it the past 2 years, but I think there were problems with it before where it wasn't that clear what we were doing. So I hope it was a little better this time, even though we didn't have it on screen.
Yeah,
we'll
so
also be
you
doing
raised
this on Sunday.
Did you see that, Chef? We raised over $220 just with this hilarities. So shout outs to everybody donating for this.
You guys are all awesome.
And I just can't believe how close. I mean, this race couldn't have been any better in any way. That was absolutely
it was
perfect.
So incredibly close. Even with the mistakes Spring made at the end, it really couldn't have gotten any better.
So yeah, I think what we should do at this point, Shav, is get anybody in here so that people in chat get ears popped by 18 people talking at the same time. Do you agree with this?
Can we just get Carlos for their victory?
We get everyone. No, everybody can scream. Let's go. Yeah, you swap ones and I swap Carlos's, and let's go.
Okay. Why do I get Juan's?
Ooh.
Hey guys.
Okay, you're on stream now. Please all talk at the same time right now. Go.
All right.
Hello.
Go. Hey,
what's up?
Through the run.
Hey.
Go, Carlos.
Hashtag Carlos for life.
Hello, Validano.
Carlos in the lead 2-1. What do you have to say to this team Carlos's?
It's too bad they don't have any proof for their prologue, just screenshots.
Oh, the high level burns here. But yeah,
I want to
thanks everybody
say
for
we
running.
got train RNG and they got Flotsam RNG.
Yeah, shit. It's actually Jetsa RNG now, but I know what you meant.
My bad.
Yeah, lots of
Well,
Flutza,
From what I
aka
saw-
aka Jetsa RNG.
From what I saw, Jetsa was just letting Team Juan
Suck.
catch up, so it could be an exciting race.
And from my perspective, the Jedi are evil.
But yeah, thanks everybody
Which
for running. That
Star
race-
Wars relay coming up.
That was
yeah,
really good.
Soon.
Up until
Sunday.
Very soon, yes.
Yeah, the race couldn't have been any better. So thanks for everybody for being here. It's only a
We've
million
got,
people.
We've got
You're
Darksiders
welcome.
next, so everyone say goodbye.
Everybody say goodbye. Ryan.
Bye.
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 Heck
Good
night.
night.